With his mind he sinned. No more with his heart he sinned. No more with his life he sinned. No more war.
In the back, let's go ahead.
On that note, I'm a teacher, and I worked at a school last year where we had a soldier from Fort Carson, I believe it was, come to speak to the students. And I had a lot of students who were very excited about going and literally told me, you know, they expect to be going over there to kill people. And I'm curious, and perhaps I'm being a little naive, I'm new to Colorado, but I'm curious, have you ever been invited to a school to speak to students? Because
Well, I know that, and I can't speak for everyone here, but I did get an opportunity to speak at a few alternative high schools, some in Aspen, some in Glenwood Springs. However, as a 2002 graduate of Whitefield High School, I have not been allowed to speak there. But you know what? I'm a little optimistic. Maybe I'll get in there someday when the war's over, maybe. Next question, yes ma'am.
What's the best way for us to organize?
What's the best way for us to organize?
Us being non-veterans.
Non-veterans, okay. Anybody up here can
I guess to answer your question, I'm actually going to answer it slightly indirectly. As far as organizing goes, first of all, we have a sign-up sheet out there on that table. We'll give you an email, every single action, every single thing, and update you on our struggles, what we're going through, and maybe even our successes like this evening. So I would say step one, make sure that you know how to get in touch with us and how we can get in touch with you. That's very important. Secondly, you know, I hate to sound like I got a handout, but honestly, we need so much support. It's not just a local chapter, but as a national organization. Not a lot of people know who we are, and I feel that like they should. I feel that that America needs to know that we're out there and that we have our voices now, and we're not going to be quiet. I'm not going to shut my mouth about, you know, what I've seen, what I've experienced. So the more of us, I guess the more the public knows about us, then the more they can get behind us, and the more active duty guys can say, you know what, I'm ticked off about this war too. How can I join you guys? And so we get ourselves out there, and the best way we can do that is through support. So however you want to do that. Garrett wants to say something?
Okay. We do have Pete Haney in the house. He works with Pikes Peak Justice and Peace Commission. You can stand up, Pete. Oh, and yes, we do have Mark Lewis over here of CSaction as well. He's got a website. CSaction.org. Definitely get involved with one of these two men, or both of them. They do a lot of peace-oriented events around the community, so please link up with one of those two, and they can give you some answers of some of these other questions of how do we get involved as civilians. Next question, please. Yes.
You mentioned applying for conscientious objector status, 9 months, and they're rejecting it. Have you heard of anybody on active duty actually getting that approved?
We have one guy here tonight. Mike.
Oh. All right, we do have a member here as well who has gone through it more recently than I. Maybe he can give you a little more insight than me and my event several years ago.
Yeah, I was actually stationed here at Fort Carson about 3 years ago. After I got back from my tour in Iraq, I filed for a conscientious objector status, and I received an honorable discharge 7 months later. I believe the year that I got out, which was in '05, out of a 1 million person army, like 60-some people applied and like 32 got accepted. So it's an extremely rare discharge. It's favored very disproportionately toward those soldiers who have the ability to articulate their beliefs in writing. A lot of soldiers know that killing innocent people is wrong. They just don't really have the ability to articulate it in such a way that the Army would accept it. So I was very fortunate to get out on CO, but it's a very rare discharge.
For you, man.
absolutely correct about that. I had just turned 20 years old, and I was speaking with 60, 70-year-old officers about why war is wrong, and the benefit of that was all on me, and I felt like I failed in conveying exactly my true feelings, and that's why, to this day I've worked on speaking skills, on writing skills, to try to show just how upset that entire experience made me. So it's a very discouraging process, but some people do manage to get out for it.
No more with his heart he's saying.